Have you ever wished you could make your dreams come true just by thinking about them? Well, there's a powerful idea that says you can do just that. It's called the law of assumption, and it's like having a magic wand for your life. This amazing concept tells us that what we believe in our minds can actually become real in our lives. It's not about waving a magic wand or saying special words. Instead, it's about becoming the person you want to be in your thoughts first. Think about it like this. If you want to be successful, you need to start seeing yourself as successful in your mind before it happens in real life. It's like trying on a new outfit in your imagination before you actually wear it. This idea isn't new or complicated. In fact, a wise teacher named Neville Goddard talked about it a long time ago, and many people have used it to change their lives in amazing ways. But here's the thing. If you want to use this powerful tool, you need to be ready for some big changes. It's not always easy because it means facing the thoughts and feelings you have about yourself, even the ones that might make you uncomfortable. Now, you might be wondering why your thoughts are so important. Well, think about it this way. If you don't change how you see yourself and the world around you, nothing in your life will really change. You could try new things, go to new places, or even start a new job, but if you're still thinking the same old thoughts, you'll likely end up back where you started. This is because our thoughts are like the blueprints for our lives. Just like an architect needs a plan before building a house, we need to have a clear picture in our minds of what we want our lives to look like. If we keep thinking negative thoughts or doubting ourselves, that's the kind of life we'll create. But if we start to think positively and believe in ourselves, we can build a life that's more like our dreams. Using the law of assumption means you have to be brave. It's not always easy to look at your own thoughts and feelings, especially if you've been thinking negatively for a long time. It's like cleaning out a messy closet. It might be uncomfortable at first, but in the end, you'll feel so much better. You might have to face some fears or doubts you've been carrying around, but that's okay. It's all part of the process of becoming the person you want to be. So, what exactly is this law of assumption? Well, it's a pretty simple idea at its core. It says that whatever you assume to be true in your mind will become true in your life. It's like your thoughts are sending out a signal to the world, and the world responds by giving you experiences that match those thoughts. Let's use an example to make this clearer. Imagine you really want to get your dream job. Now, most people might think, I hope I get that job, or I'll try my best in the interview. But with the law of assumption, you'd think differently. You'd start to assume that you already have the job. You'd think about how it feels to walk into that office every day, how you interact with your new co-workers, and how satisfied you feel doing work you love. By thinking this way, you're not just hoping for the job, you're living as if you already have it in your mind. And according to the law of assumption, this powerful belief can actually help make it happen in real life. It's not about tricking yourself or pretending. It's about truly believing and feeling that what you want is already yours. Now, this doesn't mean you sit at home and just think about having the job. You still need to take action. Send in your application, prepare for the interview, and do your best. But the law of assumption says that by already believing you have the job, you'll act in ways that make you more likely to get it. You'll be more confident in the interview, you'll speak with more certainty about your skills, and you'll give off the energy of someone who belongs in that role. This idea can be applied to anything in life, not just jobs. Maybe you want to improve your health, find a loving relationship, or achieve a personal goal. The law of assumption says that by truly believing and feeling that you already have these things, you're more likely to make them happen. It's important to understand that this isn't about positive thinking in a vague, general way. It's about really feeling and believing in a specific outcome. It's about living from the end result in your mind and emotions. This might sound strange at first, but many people have found it to be a powerful way to create change in their lives. The law of assumption also teaches us that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. This means that what we see and experience in our lives is like a mirror, showing us what we believe deep down. If we believe we're not good enough, the world will seem to confirm that. But if we believe we're capable and deserving of good things, we'll start to see opportunities and positive experiences that match that belief. This idea can be both exciting and a bit scary. It's exciting because it means we have more control over our lives than we might have thought. But it can be scary because it means we have to take responsibility for our thoughts and beliefs. We can't blame others or circumstances for our lives. We have to look at our own assumptions and beliefs. Using the law of assumption isn't always easy. It takes practice and patience. Sometimes our old habits of thinking can be hard to change. We might have doubts or fears that keep popping up, but the good news is that every time we catch ourselves thinking in the old way, we have a chance to change it. We can choose to assume something better, something that aligns with what we really want in life. It's also important to remember that the law of assumption isn't about ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect when it's not. It's about choosing to focus on what you want to create rather than what you're afraid of or what you don't want. It's about training your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. As you start to understand and use the law of assumption, you might notice small changes at first. Maybe you feel more confident or you start to see opportunities you didn't notice before. These small changes can build up over time, leading to bigger changes in your life. It's like planting a seed. At first, you might not see anything happening, but under the surface, things are growing and changing. Remember, the law of assumption is a tool, and like any tool, it gets better with practice. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Keep assuming the best, keep feeling as if your desires are already real, and keep taking action from that place of belief. Over time, you might be amazed at how your life begins to change to match your assumptions. In the next part of our discussion, we'll explore some practical ways to use the law of assumption in your daily life. We'll talk about how to change your thoughts, how to deal with doubts, and how to maintain your new assumptions even when things seem challenging. The law of assumption can be a powerful force for positive change in your life, but like any skill, it takes understanding, practice, and patience to master. Now that we understand what the law of assumption is, let's dive deeper into why our thoughts are so powerful. You see, our thoughts aren't just random ideas floating around in our heads. They're like the seeds we plant in the garden of our lives. What we think about most often grows and becomes our reality. Think about it this way. Have you ever bought a new car and then suddenly noticed that same car everywhere on the road? The cars were always there, but now your mind is focused on them, so you notice them more. This is a simple example of how what we focus on expands in our awareness. The same thing happens with our beliefs about ourselves and the world. If we believe that life is hard and nothing ever goes our way, we'll start to notice all the times when things are difficult. We might miss opportunities or give up easily because we expect things to go wrong. On the other hand, if we believe that we're capable and that good things come to us easily, we'll start to notice more positive events in our lives. We'll be more likely to take chances and keep going even when things get tough. This is why the law of assumption says that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. It's not that the world itself changes, but our perception and experience of it change based on what we believe and assume to be true. Now you might be thinking, but I can't control my thoughts all the time. And you're right. We all have thousands of thoughts every day, and many of them happen automatically. But here's the good news. We can choose which thoughts to focus on and which ones to let go. We can train our minds to focus more on positive assumptions and less on negative ones. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on solutions and possibilities rather than dwelling on what's wrong. It means assuming the best about yourself and others, even when faced with challenges. For example, let's say you have a big presentation at work. Instead of thinking, "I'm so nervous, I'll probably mess up," you could think, "I'm prepared and capable. This presentation is an opportunity to share my ideas." By assuming success, you're more likely to feel confident and perform well. The law of assumption also teaches us that our emotions play a big role in shaping our reality. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts, but about feeling the emotions associated with already having what we want. This is because our emotions are like fuel for our thoughts. When we combine positive thoughts with positive emotions, we create a powerful force for change in our lives. So how do we start to change our inner world? It starts with becoming aware of our current thoughts and assumptions. Pay attention to what you think about most often. Are your thoughts mostly positive or negative? Do you assume the best or the worst in situations? Once you're aware of your thought patterns, you can start to consciously change them. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and ask, "Is this really true? How could I think about this differently?" Then choose a more positive assumption. It's also helpful to surround yourself with positive influences. This could mean reading inspirational books, listening to uplifting podcasts, or spending time with people who believe in you and support your goals. The more you expose yourself to positive ideas, the easier it becomes to maintain positive assumptions. Remember, changing your inner world takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself. It's okay if you have negative thoughts sometimes. We all do. The key is to not dwell on them, but to gently guide your mind back to more positive assumptions. As you work on changing your inner world, you might start to notice small changes in your outer world. Maybe people respond to you differently, or you start to see opportunities you didn't notice before. These small changes are signs that the law of assumption is working in your life. It's important to note that the law of assumption isn't about magical thinking or denying reality. It's about choosing to focus on what you want to create rather than what you fear or don't want. It's about training your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. For example, if you're in a job you don't like, the law of assumption doesn't mean pretending you love your job. Instead, it means focusing on the kind of job you do want and assuming that it's on its way to you. You might think about how it would feel to wake up excited for work, or imagine yourself succeeding in your dream career. By doing this, you're more likely to notice opportunities that align with your goals and take actions that lead you towards them. The law of assumption also teaches us to be careful with our words. The things we say out loud are powerful assumptions that can shape our reality. Instead of saying, "I'm always broke," you might say, "I'm learning to manage my money better every day." Instead of saying, "I'll never find love," you might say, "I'm open to loving relationships in my life." These small changes in how we speak can have a big impact over time. Another important aspect of the law of assumption is persistence. Sometimes we might start to assume something positive, but then give up if we don't see immediate results. But just like a farmer doesn't dig up his seeds every day to check if they're growing, we need to have faith in the process. Keep holding on to your positive assumptions, even when it seems like nothing is happening on the surface. Change often happens slowly at first, then all at once. It's also helpful to practice gratitude as part of working with the law of assumption. When we focus on what we're grateful for, we're assuming that good things come into our lives regularly. This positive assumption can help attract more good things. Try starting or ending each day by thinking of 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big things or small things. The important part is feeling the emotion of gratitude. As you work with the law of assumption, you might find that your entire outlook on life starts to change. You might become more optimistic, more open to new experiences, and more resilient in the face of challenges. This is because you're training your mind to focus on possibilities rather than problems. Remember, the law of assumption is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing where to put your mental and emotional energy. When challenges arise, acknowledge them, but then focus on solutions and positive outcomes. Assume that every challenge has a solution and that you have the ability to handle whatever comes your way. It's also important to combine the law of assumption with action. While our thoughts and assumptions are powerful, we still need to take steps in the physical world towards our goals. The difference is that when we're operating from positive assumptions, we're more likely to take inspired action that aligns with our goals. For example, if you're assuming that you're a successful business owner, you might feel inspired to take a course to improve your skills, network with other entrepreneurs, or work on your business plan. These actions come from a place of confidence and expectation of success rather than fear or doubt. As you continue to work with the law of assumption, you might find that it becomes more natural over time. Your positive assumptions might start to feel more real and believable. This is a sign that you're rewiring your thought patterns and creating new neural pathways in your brain. Remember, everyone's journey with the law of assumption is unique. Some people might see quick results, while for others, it might take more time. The key is to be patient and persistent and to enjoy the process of transforming your inner world. In the next section, we'll explore some practical exercises you can use to start applying the law of assumption in your daily life. These exercises will help you clarify what you want, create powerful assumptions, and maintain a positive mindset even when faced with challenges. By consistently practicing these techniques, you'll be well on your way to mastering the law of assumption and creating the life you desire. The idea that your thoughts create your reality is at the heart of the law of assumption. It might sound strange at first, but think about it this way. Everything you see around you started as a thought in someone's mind. The chair you're sitting on, the device you're reading this on, even the clothes you're wearing, they all began as ideas before becoming real things. The same is true for your life experiences. What you believe about yourself and the world around you shapes how you act, how you treat others, and even how others treat you. It's like wearing a pair of glasses that colors everything you see. If you're wearing dark, gloomy glasses, the world looks dark and gloomy. But if you put on bright, happy glasses, suddenly everything looks brighter and more positive. Let's look at an example to make this clearer. Imagine 2 people applying for the same job. The first person thinks, "I'm not qualified enough. They probably won't hire me." The second person thinks, "I have valuable skills to offer. This job is a great opportunity for me." Which person do you think is more likely to get the job? The first person might feel nervous in the interview, doubt themselves, and not showcase their skills well. The second person is likely to be more confident, enthusiastic, and make a better impression. Their thoughts are creating 2 very different realities. But it's not just about big things like jobs. Your thoughts affect every part of your life. If you think people are generally kind, you're more likely to notice and experience kindness. If you think you're capable of learning new things, you're more likely to take on challenges and grow. Your thoughts are like a magnet, attracting experiences that match them. Now, this doesn't mean that just thinking positive thoughts will magically make everything perfect. Life still has its ups and downs, but by consciously choosing more positive, empowering thoughts, you can change how you experience life and open yourself up to more opportunities. It's important to understand that this isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about choosing where to focus your attention and energy. When faced with a challenge, instead of thinking, "This is terrible, I can't handle it," you might think, "This is tough, but I can learn from it and find a solution." Your thoughts also affect how you feel, and your feelings drive your actions. If you constantly think you're not good enough, you'll feel discouraged and might not even try to achieve your goals. But if you believe in yourself, you'll feel more confident and be more likely to take action towards what you want. Remember, changing your thoughts takes time and practice. You've been thinking certain ways for a long time, so it's natural if it feels challenging at first to shift your thinking. Be patient with yourself and keep working at it. Over time, you'll find it becomes easier to choose more positive, empowering thoughts. One effective way to start changing your thoughts is to become more aware of them. Pay attention to what you're thinking throughout the day. When you notice a negative thought, pause and ask yourself, "Is this really true? How else could I look at this situation?" Then try to come up with a more positive or neutral thought. Another helpful technique is to use affirmations. These are positive statements that you repeat to yourself regularly. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good with money," you might say to yourself, "I'm learning to manage my finances wisely." The key is to choose affirmations that feel believable to you and to say them with feeling. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the shows you watch, all of these affect your thoughts. Try to choose media and relationships that uplift and inspire you. Remember, the goal isn't to never have a negative thought. That's not realistic. The goal is to become more aware of your thoughts and to consciously choose more positive, empowering ones more often. As you do this, you'll start to see changes in how you feel and in the experiences you attract into your life. Now that we understand how our thoughts shape our reality, let's dive into a powerful exercise that can help you harness the law of assumption. This exercise is all about imagining your ideal self and the life you want to create. It's like being the architect of your own life, designing the blueprint for your future. Find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Take a few deep breaths to relax and clear your mind. Now close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from now, living your ideal life. Really let yourself dream big here. What does your perfect day look like? Start with the moment you wake up. Where are you? What does your bedroom look like? How do you feel as you start your day? Imagine yourself going through this ideal day. What kind of work are you doing? Who are you spending time with? What activities bring you joy? As you imagine this, try to engage all your senses. What do you see around you? What sounds do you hear? Are there any particular smells or tastes associated with this ideal day? How does your body feel? Now think about your achievements and the person you've become in this ideal future. What goals have you accomplished? How have you grown and changed? What kind of impact are you making in the world? Take your time with this visualization. The more detailed and vivid you can make it, the more powerful it will be. Really allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with living this ideal life. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of purpose. Once you have a clear picture of this ideal future self, it's time to create some positive statements or affirmations based on this vision. These affirmations should be in the present tense, as if you're already living this reality. For example, I am confident and successful in my career. I am surrounded by loving, supportive relationships. I am healthy, energetic, and take great care of my body. I am financially abundant and manage my money wisely. I am making a positive impact in the world through my work. Create several affirmations that resonate with your vision of your ideal self. Write them down and keep them somewhere you can see them daily. Next, let's think about how you see the world when you're living this ideal life. What beliefs do you hold about yourself and others? How do you view challenges and opportunities? Some examples might be, the world is full of opportunities for growth and success. Challenges are chances to learn and become stronger. People are generally kind and supportive. I have everything I need to achieve my goals. Write down these worldview statements as well. These beliefs form the foundation of your ideal reality. Now that you have this vision of your ideal self and life, along with the affirmations and beliefs that support it, it's time to start living from this place. This doesn't mean pretending or denying your current reality. Instead, it means holding this vision in your mind and making choices that align with it. Each morning, take a few minutes to review your affirmations and worldview statements. Really feel the truth of these statements. Throughout the day, when you face decisions or challenges, ask yourself, what would my ideal self do in this situation? You might also want to create a vision board, a collage of images and words that represent your ideal life. Place it somewhere you'll see it often. This visual reminder can help reinforce your new assumptions about yourself and your life. Remember, this exercise isn't about escaping your current reality. It's about clarifying what you truly want and aligning your thoughts and beliefs with that vision. As you consistently practice this, you may start to notice changes in how you feel and act. You might find yourself more confident, more optimistic, and more open to opportunities that align with your vision. It's important to revisit and refine this vision regularly. As you grow and change, your ideal self might evolve too. That's perfectly normal and part of the journey. The key is to keep your focus on what you want to create rather than what you want to avoid or what you're afraid of. This exercise of imagining your ideal self is a powerful tool in working with the law of assumption. By clearly envisioning what you want and consistently aligning your thoughts and beliefs with that vision, you're setting the stage for powerful changes in your life. Remember, according to the law of assumption, what you assume to be true will become your reality. So assume the best for yourself and your life and watch as your reality begins to shift to match your assumptions. One of the most important things to understand about the law of assumption is that changes don't happen instantly in the physical world. This is a crucial point that many people overlook, leading to frustration and disappointment. Let's explore why there's often a delay between our assumptions and their manifestation in reality, and why it's so important to keep believing even when we don't see immediate results. Think about planting a seed in your garden. You put the seed in the soil, water it, and provide it with sunlight. But you don't see a full-grown plant the next day, do you? It takes time for the seed to sprout, grow roots, and eventually break through the soil. Even then, it takes more time for the plant to grow to its full size. Our thoughts and assumptions work in a similar way. When we start to change our thoughts and beliefs, we're planting seeds in our mental garden. These seeds need time to grow and manifest in our physical reality. Just like a plant growing underground before it breaks through the surface, changes are often happening beneath the surface of our lives before we can see them. There are several reasons for this delay. First, our physical world has a certain amount of inertia. Things that are already in motion tend to stay in motion. This means that the circumstances of our lives that have been created by our past thoughts and beliefs don't change overnight. It takes time for the new energy of our changed thoughts to overcome this inertia and create visible changes. Second, we often need time to align our actions with our new assumptions. For example, if you start assuming that you're a successful business owner, you might need time to develop new skills, make new connections, or create new products or services. These actions, inspired by your new assumptions, take time to implement and bear fruit. Third, sometimes we need to go through certain experiences or learn certain lessons before we're ready for what we're assuming to come into our lives. The delay gives us time to grow into the person who can handle and appreciate what we're calling in. Knowing that there's often a delay between our assumptions and their physical manifestation, how can we keep believing even when we don't see immediate results? Here are some strategies. Trust the process. Remember that just because you can't see changes doesn't mean nothing is happening. Like the seed underground, changes are often occurring beneath the surface. Look for small signs. While big changes might take time, you may notice small shifts in your thoughts, feelings, or circumstances. Celebrate these as evidence that your assumptions are working. Keep your focus on your end goal. Instead of constantly looking for results, keep your mind focused on the feeling of already having what you want. This maintains the energy of your assumption. Practice patience. Understand that everything has its own divine timing. Trust that what you're assuming will manifest at the right time, even if it's not on your preferred schedule. Take inspired action. While waiting for your assumptions to manifest, take actions that align with your new beliefs. This helps bridge the gap between your inner and outer worlds. Use the waiting time wisely. Instead of anxiously waiting for results, use this time to further develop yourself. Learn new skills, cultivate positive habits, or work on other aspects of your life. Keep affirming your assumptions. Regularly remind yourself of what you're assuming to be true. Use affirmations, visualization, or journaling to reinforce your new beliefs. Practice gratitude. Being thankful for what you already have keeps you in a positive state of mind and opens you up to receiving more. Remember, the law of assumption isn't about instant gratification. It's about aligning your inner world with what you want to experience in your outer world. This alignment is a process, and the journey itself is valuable. It's also worth noting that sometimes what we assume might come into our lives in unexpected ways. We might assume financial abundance, for example, and instead of winning the lottery, we might receive a job offer with a higher salary or discover a new business opportunity. Stay open to how your assumptions might manifest. Lastly, don't let the delay discourage you from making big assumptions. It's okay to assume great things for yourself, even if they seem far from your current reality. In fact, making bold assumptions can be powerful because they stretch your beliefs about what's possible for you. The key is to hold on to your assumption regardless of what your current circumstances show you. This doesn't mean denying reality, but rather choosing to focus on the reality you're creating rather than the one that's passing away. By understanding that there's often a delay between our assumptions and their physical manifestation, and by learning to maintain our beliefs during this waiting period, we set ourselves up for success with the law of assumption. Remember, your only job is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The how and when of its manifestation is not your concern. Trust in the process, keep your assumptions strong, and watch as your life begins to transform in beautiful and sometimes unexpected ways. One of the most powerful aspects of the law of assumption is understanding the importance of focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. This might sound simple, but it's a concept that many people struggle with. Our minds often naturally gravitate towards problems and worries, but to effectively use the law of assumption, we need to train ourselves to focus on our desires and positive outcomes. Think about it this way. Whatever you give your attention to grows. It's like watering a plant. If you water the flowers in your garden, they'll grow and bloom. But if you water the weeds, they'll grow too. Your thoughts are like water for the garden of your life. When you focus on good things, more good things tend to show up. When you focus on problems or fears, you often end up with more of those. For example, if you're always thinking, "I don't want to be in debt," your mind is focused on debt. Even though you're saying you don't want it, you're still giving it your energy and attention. Instead, try focusing on, "I want financial abundance," or "I'm good at managing my money." This shifts your energy towards what you actually want to experience. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about choosing where to put your mental and emotional energy. When challenges arise, acknowledge them, but then quickly shift your focus to solutions and positive outcomes. Reframe negative statements. If you catch yourself thinking about what you don't want, pause and ask, "So what do I want instead?" Then focus on that. Use positive affirmations. Create statements that reflect what you want and repeat them regularly. For example, instead of "I don't want to be lonely," use "I enjoy fulfilling relationships." Visualize your desired outcome. Spend time each day imagining what you want as if it's already happened. Feel the emotions of having what you desire. Practice gratitude. Focusing on what you're thankful for puts your attention on the positive aspects of your life, which can help attract more positive experiences. Be mindful of your words. The language you use reflects and reinforces your focus. Try to speak more about what you want and less about what you don't want. Remember, this isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about consciously choosing where to direct your mental energy. By consistently focusing on what you want, you align your thoughts and feelings with your desires, making it more likely for them to manifest in your life. Incorporating the law of assumption into your daily life is key to seeing real changes. It's not something you do once and forget about. It's a new way of thinking and being that you practice consistently. Here are some ways to make the law of assumption a part of your everyday routine. Start your day with intention. Before you get out of bed, take a few moments to imagine your day going well. Assume that good things will happen and that you'll handle any challenges with ease. Use affirmations. Choose a few positive statements that align with what you want to assume about yourself and your life. Repeat these throughout the day, especially when you need a boost. Mindful self-talk. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself. When you catch negative self-talk, pause and choose a more positive assumption instead. Visualize before important events, before meetings, interviews, or any significant event. Take a few minutes to visualize it going well. Assume a positive outcome. Act as if, throughout your day, ask yourself, "How would I act if I were already the person I want to be?" Then act that way. Practice gratitude. End each day by noting things you're grateful for. This reinforces the assumption that good things come into your life regularly. Revise your day. Before sleep, replay any negative events from your day in your mind, but imagine them going the way you would have preferred. This is called revision, and it's a powerful technique for changing your assumptions. Be aware of your reactions. When something happens, notice your immediate reaction. Is it based on old, limiting assumptions? If so, consciously choose a new, more empowering assumption. Remember, using the law of assumption is about consistency. It's not about being perfect, but about gradually shifting your dominant thoughts and beliefs. With practice, it becomes more natural and automatic. The law of assumption is a powerful tool for shaping your reality and creating the life you desire. By understanding that your thoughts create your reality, imagining your ideal self, recognizing that changes take time, focusing on what you want, and incorporating these principles into your daily life, you can harness the power of your mind to transform your world. Remember, this isn't about magical thinking or denying reality. It's about consciously choosing your thoughts and assumptions and aligning your inner world with the outer reality you wish to create. It takes practice, patience, and persistence, but the results can be truly life-changing. As you continue on this journey, be kind to yourself. Changing long-held thought patterns takes time. Celebrate small victories and keep your focus on your desired end result. Trust in the process and know that as you change your assumptions, your reality will follow suit. The law of assumption puts the power to shape your life firmly in your hands. You are the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. By assuming the best for yourself and your life, you open the door to endless possibilities. So dream big, assume boldly, and watch as your life transforms in beautiful and sometimes unexpected ways. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to choose your assumptions and shape your reality. The future you desire starts with the thoughts you think today. Embrace the power of the law of assumption and step into the life you've always dreamed of. Your journey of transformation begins now. Of